Well, West Ham bounced straight back to the Premier League under Sam Allardyce in 2012 after they were relegated the season before. They'll have to do it all over again after yesterday's relegation. talkSPORT's Charlie Pritchard was outside the London Stadium at full time with some utterly dejected Hammers.
Look, it's a difficult day for West Ham. I'm here with Matt and Taylor, their fans. They've been to the game, they've walked out. I mean, look, it's not a happy day, is it, guys?
It's a devastating day for the club, and I'll be honest with you, it's absolutely it's heart-wrenching, you know, to see the club, and my son as well, you know.
Yeah, it's only relegation, you know. You can come back. It's you know. Look, it was obviously.
Hope he's okay.
Yeah, it's obviously bitterly disappointing for West Ham. And look, let's get a view from the inside, if you like. A man who played over 350 times with the Hammers. It's very good morning to Tony Gale. Morning, Gailey.
Morning, Tony.
Morning, Gabby. Morning, Jeff.
Were they just a shade unlucky, Tony? You know, look, 39 points, usually enough to stay up. I noticed they won 10 games. If you looked at last season, the relegated sides won 6 and 4 and 2. So have they just been caught out, you know, by this particular season?
I think it was coming a bit, Jeff. I think they've sleptwalked into it a little bit because in previous seasons, if you have a look, there was in and around it. And it was coming. It was like, oh, you know, come on, boys, you know, it's coming. You've got to be really careful here. And then the start of the season with the change of the managers and everything happening, nothing ever settled down. It never settled down. They never got a run together. And it wasn't till the end, prior maybe to the last 4 games, where they weren't, 4 games before the last game, sorry, when they didn't get the good results, they had a chance of survival. But, yeah, 39 is a lot of points to go down with, Jeff. But they've been down with 42 before, all those years ago, haven't they? So they're breaking records that you don't want to break, really.
Tony, there's obviously a lot of problems this season. You know, change of managers, maybe some of the players coming in not being good enough. The Paqueta problem, you know, he didn't do much this season and left when the club probably needed him. But this fan base is massive, isn't it, of West Ham? You know, like playing against them, Upton Park, the atmosphere there, this new stadium, filling it out, winning the Europa Conference League. How have West Ham not gone on to the next level? How are they not every season qualifying for Europe? Why aren't they trying for Champions League qualification? A stadium like that and a fan base, how have they got into this situation, mate?
I think it's just been poor recruitment, Gabby. I think it's everything now. And the recruitment team is, you know, when they've gone down as well. I hope there's a strategy in place because we know a lot of money's got to come in now to, you know, fit the requirements of the fair play rules and everything else. So you're talking about 100 million plus probably that they got to get in before they start their challenge for the championship. So same as what you were saying before, I hope there's a strategy there for selling players and buying players as well because, as you know, boys, that championship is really, really difficult. It's going to go down to 8 teams, I do believe, next week. The playoffs, but that's no difference for anything. You want to get straight up out of that if you can.
Yeah. Who will be in charge, Tony?
But
Will
Nuno selling your best players, your key players, your fair players?
Oh, just losing you a second.
Sorry,
Tony, who's going to be in charge, do you think? Will Nuno be on his way out?
Seems to be by the things that are being saying, Jeff. Will Nuno be there? If he does go, you do need someone that who knows what he's doing in the championship, knows the opposition as well as his own team. But when you don't want to be fighting with your hands behind your back, Jeff, because you're going to have to get rid of a lot of the good players. Only the star names are really going to bring the money in for the fair play requirements. So it's going to be a tough task. Not as easy just to know the championship. You've also got to have the players.
It's a shame, isn't it, Tony, when you look at the likes of Bournemouth, how they're run, Brighton, how they're run, and you're looking at West Ham and you're thinking, like, winning that trophy, European trophy, you should be, like, I don't repeat myself, but it must just be so frustrating, and a lot of fans must be confused, like, spending 20 million on Fulkrug, Kilman 40 million, to Debo 35 million. Some of the players have been shocking, haven't they?
Yeah, big waste of money, Gabby. I mean, some of those you mentioned there, like, and that just blows your budget, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And they hardly played you. And they, unfortunately, are the first ones that want to jump ship when you get relegated. There's no loyalty at all from them. It's going to be so difficult to get that championship squad in alignment to maintain a challenge. And they need to do it now. Whatever you're doing, do it now. Do it now. Give someone time. Give him a little pre-season in there. If it is a new manager, like you were saying, Jeff, Gabby, and give him that time to get himself sorted out. 63,000 every week, sellouts. Probably, I reckon, next season going to be 45,000. That's still a lot. Still a lot in the championship, isn't it? So give them what they want. Give them it to come straight back up and get back in that Premier League, I hope.
Well, look, it's a lot in any division, Tony, 40-odd thousand. And, you know, West Ham get massive attendances. Look, I think we all accept that some of the big name players, Somerville, maybe Fernandez, Castellanos, they'll be off. But what about Jarrod Bowen? Is there any way you think that West Ham will be able to persuade him to play for them in the Championship? And can they afford to keep him?
Exactly. And does Jarrod want to, his little day in the sun, so to speak? And he deserves it, actually, because Jarrod's not one of the ones that's chucked the towel in. He deserves it. If he does go, I think we've had 6.5 years out of Jarrod where he's been brilliant. He's absolutely, and everybody remember that he got that goal in the Conference Cup final a few years ago that gave him that trophy that they'd never had for 40-odd years. So if Jarrod goes, I think he would go with some blessings, actually. Some of the others, unfortunately, didn't try a leg. You have a look at them and you look at the likes of Fulkrug, that's got to be one of the worst signings. And you think, what's gone on there? The lad Pablo, he's just come in. Castellanos has done okay, but Pablo's, he's just struggled. Yeah. He's struggled. I mean, Gabby had recognised as a striker. Yeah. You've got to have something. You've got to have a bit of pace, or you've got to be older.
He's a bit of like a bit of a work. Do you know what I mean? He works hard, but no quality, not a threat. And you're looking at it and saying, Callum Wilson, at least he scored 7 Premier League goals. You would have played him a lot more if he was available than Pablo.
Yeah. And again, it's not Pablo's fault. He's been bought for that. So, but he is a trier, Gabby. You're right. He is a trier. You can't fault him for his efforts, but it's the quality you needed when you're spending like the likes of 25 million on him. Just wanted a little bit of quality just to get out.
Tony, thanks very much, mate.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
Cheers, you too. Luke, who is a West Ham fan, this is pretty much what you were saying, Gabby, there, got to be relegated. We got what we deserve. It's been coming since the Europa Conference League when we didn't use that moment to push on. The club stagnated and we got relegated, so we earned it. I think we will come back, but I'd rather Craig Bellamy than Scott Parker. Sick of getting the same managers off the managerial merry-go-round.
You know what, Jeff? Sometimes it can work against you, relegation, but sometimes it can actually help. Sometimes getting rid of the players that want to play for the football club, if you come straight back up, sometimes it can be, I know it's a weird thing to say, but does that push Sullivan to sell? Does new owners come in? Can it be a new start for West Ham?
Yeah,
in a way?
And it can be, but it can also go the other way. If you just look at Leicester City now, so...
You just want to play.
Got to wait and see as far as West Ham are concerned, which way it does
exactly.
go.
And you look at Leicester, how many players from the Premier League stayed and they weren't up for the fight at the Championship.
Yeah,
might have been really good players, but don't want to fight. If West Ham have the same problem where they can't get rid of some of their bigger earners and they're sulking in the Championship, you'll get found out, mate.
Absolutely,
you will get found out, Jeff. Like you won't want to go to Lincoln away or thinking you're a Premier League player. You'll get turned over.
But equally, just to give some encouragement to West Ham fans, for every Leicester, there's an Ipswich.
Exactly.
So we shall see. Yes. We shall see. The EFL fixture release date, by the way, a month today, 25th of June at midday. West Ham fans, you won't want to miss it. Probably start with Millwall away. What do you think?
But a quick one, Jeff, as well, with a new manager. Because they're going to be back earlier, a lot of managers, especially when I finished, Steve Bruce would do a pre-season for the players that didn't play much. So basically, you didn't play much this season. You come back a bit earlier, and you do maybe in Portugal with physios. You do a pre-season, get a manager in, so he knows what players he wants to keep. We're probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks away from some of the players having to be back for pre-season for the new season.
Yeah.
So make a decision now. Don't wait. Give him the best chance to get his player sorted for next season.